Daybreak. The Daybreak Show.
The wordings of that section is clear. It said no political appointee at any level. Those are keywords. Be it at the ward, local government, state or federal, shall be a voting delegate, which means that unlike what obtained in the past, whereby the parties by their regulations and guidelines make such appointees automatic delegates, these are taking away that right. Now the second leg to that section now says all be voted for at the convention or congress of any political parties for the purpose of the nomination of candidates for any election. Now that's where I have a slight difficulty. I think it is an abrogation of my right, of a right which the constitution has established, that is the right to belong to a political party and the right to contest. In most parties' guidelines, there are usually stipulations, or even by their practice and conventions, that for instance, if you want to run for the House of Assembly, you must ordinarily be able to emerge from your ward as a delegate, as one of the 5 ad hoc delegates. Okay, the practice is that if you are unable to emerge from your ward as one of the 5 ad hoc delegates, then it means you don't have grassroots support. I can conveniently argue before any jury that that particular section, particularly the second leg to it, is an infringement on my rights as a citizen. Yes, I am a member of this party. I was appointed into the political office by virtue of my membership of the party and contribution to the party. It is different and distinct from my right to contest, because I am qualified under section 106 and 65 of the constitution to contest the election. And the party had made it as part of the requirement that if I am going to contest, I have to relinquish my political appointment because of the Electoral Act. And I am saying party has no power to abrogate the right which section 65 and 106 are donated to me as a citizen. Between you and I, law and morality are two different things. If the law says this is the way it is, that is the way it should be. This section, in my opinion, is actually trying to regulate the activities of a political party, which is like a loose association, just like your clubs, like our old students association, which ordinarily shouldn't be. You may not agree with me, but that is my view. Each party, just like our old boys students association, should be able to regulate its own affairs and conduct its affairs in accordance with those regulations. If you now come with a centralized law like this and say for Egbe Alakuko that won't go beyond my Onidundu ward, this is because it is possible in a federal system that we have a party, or we have parties that their operations will just be limited to even this Ashero alone. It is not compulsory, they must win the majority, they must win any seat at the state. But when you now have a centralized law like this and now say, oh, before any of your members can be an ad hoc delegate, that member must first of all resign his office from either his secretary or his... I don't think that is fair. This thing is like a two-edged sword. No one at the moment knows where the Supreme Court will decide, how the Supreme Court will decide, or where the pendulum will swing. So all these that we're saying or discussing is just a matter of our opinions. It's not going to divide anybody except anyone who wants to be divided, and I am very certain I am not one of those to be divided. The only thing I will advise everybody is go and get your PVC to vote. Either you are a musician, you are a blogger. There is no polling booths on the social media, nor in prayer churches or mosques. My brothers and sisters, my aburos, go and get your PVC. That is your power. That is what you will use to change this thing. If you see a particular person who has not resigned and probably his party screened him out, and they decide that no, blah blah blah, and like they do, jump into another ship to take a ticket, you have a right as a voter to look at him that this one is too desperate. What is the desperation? If they say you should do this and the law says you should have done it, why do you not? So that's where you come in. That's how it affects you. Otherwise, don't get involved in all this maze of arguments that is going about. Let each state have its own appellate structure. We need to have that appellate structure in the states where issues relating to customary land tenure system, customary marriages, customary contractual relationships are easily resolved, and it is one way to decongest the Supreme Court.
Daybreak. The Daybreak Show.